Hello students, good morning. In my last class, you got the explanation of the first stanza of the first quatrain of the poem Sonnet 18. Today, you are going to get the line by line explanation of the second quatrain of the poem Sonnet 18. Okay? In the second quatrain, the poet considers the changing phase of summer season. The main or chief announcement of the poet in second quatrain is the changing phase of summer season. Here also the poet finds out a few weak points or negative points of summer season. On the last day in my last class, you came to know about 2 weak points of summer season. You came to know that summer is beautiful, summer is lovely, of course, summer is attractive, of course, but summer has weak points, feeble points. What are they? They are the brevity of the season and the touch of rough winds. Summer has rough winds, violent winds that destroy mercilessly the beautiful blossoms of the month of May in summer. And the summer season stands on nature's breast only for a little time, only for a brief time. Where the beauty of the poet's friend is everlasting, as it has been carved in the eternal lines of poetry. Clear? Now, second stanza you follow. The poet is going to point out about the third weak point of summer season. Sometimes too hot, sometimes means at times, occasionally. Too hot means excessively hot, very hot. The eye of heaven, beautiful metaphor. The eye of heaven means, what is the eye of the heaven? Heaven means the sky. What is the eye of the sky? That is the all-important sun. So eye of heaven means the sun. Shines means gives light. So third weak point of summer season is the excessive heat of the sun. In summer, the sun gives sweet light, beautiful light. But occasionally, sometimes the sun gets too much hot. The sun shines very brightly. The dazzling light of the sun becomes greatly intolerable for the human society and for the animal society and for the plant society. Sometimes the sun gives so much hot, so much heat that human world, animal world, trees, plants, all get tired. All are as if going to be scorched by the excessive heat of the sun. So the third weak point of summer season is excessive heat of the sun. Sometimes the sun gives too much heat. On the other hand, you think the poet's friend is always cool, always sobered, always calm. He is never excited. He is never disgusted. The poet's friend is always polite, gentle, moderate, soft. Clear? Next. And often and sometimes is his gold complexion. Is, B verb is given at first, just to emphasize the announcement of the poet. H-I-S, his pronunciation, you follow pronoun his, that means the sun's. So the sun is personified here by the poet. The sun is presented here as a male figure. So the poet has given the pronoun his. Gold complexion means gold light, golden rays of the sun. Dimmed means decreased, D-C-R-E-A-S-E-D, or faded, or cut down. So again I am clearing. And often and sometimes the beautiful golden rays of the sun are decreased, are faded. Why? When the sky is overcast, when the sky is cloudy, when the sky gets a layer of black clouds. So clear? Another weak point, another feeble point of summer season is black clouds. In summer, the sun shines very beautifully, very sweetly. The sweet rays of the sun are heart-touching. But at times, the beautiful rays of the sun are covered by the layer of the black clouds. On the other hand, you think the fair complexion of the body of the poet's friend is always bright, always heart-touching, impressing. The bodily complexion of the poet's friend is always attractive. It never gets blackened or dark because there is no possibility of a dark shadow. So another weak point of summer season is the layer of black clouds, by which the gold complexion of the sun, the golden rays, the golden light of the sun gets dimmed, gets decreased. So this is the one weak point, another weak point of summer season. Clear? Now the poet is shifting his thought from summer season to nature as a whole. So a beautiful alliteration you follow. And every fair from fair sometime declines. Alliteration beautifully given by the poet. And every fair from fair sometime declines. A significant weak point of nature mother. Every fair, first fair you follow, means every beautiful object of nature mother. Every lovable object. So first fair means a beautiful object of nature, lovable object of nature. Like sweet flower, sweet fruit, sweet human body, this. And second fair you follow, second fair means fairness, loveliness or beauty. Clear? Sometime means occasionally, at times. Declines means decreases. So again I am clearing. Every fair from fair sometime declines, means every lovable object, every beautiful object of nature, with the passage of time, with the progress of time, loses its beauty or loveliness. I am giving one example. Suppose in our garden today, we have got a beautiful, lovely rose flower. Red rose, looks very lovely, very fresh. But for how many days will this loveliness be standing? Only for 2 or 3 days? Or 4 days? After 3 or 4 days, the loveliness, this freshness of the beautiful rose flower will be starting to be decayed. Will be starting to be lost into the oblivion, into the gap of time. So clear? When time will pass away, the beauty will be decreased. The beauty will be starting to be faded away. So on nature's breast, beauty is not everlasting. Beauty is fleeting, fleeting. Beauty is temporary. Means every mortal figure, every mortal thing on this earth is a subject to decay and to change. Today you think a beautiful, lovely young figure, a beautiful young boy or young girl, a figure of excellent loveliness, heart-touching, unique, heart-touching loveliness. But for how many days, but for how many years it will stand so beautifully? Only when the beautiful youth stage will be passed away, this loveliness of the beautiful young boy or young girl will be faded. When middle old age will come, it will be starting to be lost. When old age will come, it will be totally lost. So clear? On nature's breast, loveliness is temporary, fleeting. Means with the passage of time, with the progress of time, every beautiful object of nature loses its beauty. Clear? Suppose now the season of autumn. In autumn, Nature Mother has got so many beautiful touch of flowers and fruits. But when the beautiful season of autumn will pass away, these beautiful autumn gifts will be lost from Nature Mother. Clear? So on nature's breast, loveliness is temporary, not everlasting. So the poet is telling every fair from fair sometime declines. Means every lovable, beautiful object of Nature Mother with the passage of time loses its beauty. But on the other hand, you think the beauty of the poet's friend, the youthful loveliness of the poet's friend is everlasting. It is not fleeting, it is not temporary, because it has been carved in the eternal lines of Sonnet 18. As long as human civilization will exist on this earth, people read this Sonnet 18. Up to the existence of human race, the eternal lines of Sonnet 18 will be read by people. And when people will read this Sonnet 18, they will recall how lovely Shakespeare's friend was, how beautiful Shakespeare's young friend was. You think how greatly successful William Shakespeare is? Last day I told you, Shakespeare's friend died so many years before. Shakespeare died so many years ago. But till date, in this 21st century, in educational world, we are reading, we are going through the beautiful lines of Sonnet 18. And when we are reading the beautiful lines of Sonnet 18, we are recalling, we are remembering, we are trying to capture in our brain how beautiful Shakespeare's friend, Shakespeare's beloved was. So really through the lines of verse, really through the eternal lines of Sonnet 18, the poet's friend is everlasting into the memory of people, into the hearts of people. So the poet is telling, Every fair sometime declines. Every lovable object, every beautiful object of nature with the passage of time loses its beauty. But oh friend, you will never lose your beauty. The poet is claiming, my friend will never lose his beauty, his youthful loveliness. Because my friend is always youthful. Always green. Because his green time, his growing time, his youthful time only has been carved in the lines of poetry. People will come to know. People will not be able to come to know about his sorrowful days, painful days that cover the stage of old age. So people will never be able to come to know about his friend's old days. Only the people will come to know about the beautiful youthful days of the friend. So in the memory of the people, only the youthfulness of the poet's friend will be ever glowing, will be everlasting, evergreen. So in the comparison, the poet's friend is more attractive, more lovely, more beautiful, more charming. Clear? Next. By chance means accidentally or suddenly, misfortunately. Or nature's changing course is untrimmed. Nature's changing course. Nature's changing course means shifting course. Nature's changing course means you think the cyclic order of season change. Suppose today nature is staying in the season of summer. But after 2 months, the span of summer season will be finished. So nature will then shift from summer to monsoon. After again more 2 or 3 months, nature will shift a harsh standing point from monsoon to autumn. After more 2 months, nature will shift her standpoint from autumn to winter. And after more 2 or 3 months, nature will shift her presence from winter to springtime. Again from spring to summer. So spring, monsoon, autumn, winter and spring. This beautiful cyclic order of season change. Okay? The poet is telling, nature's changing course is often untrimmed. The cyclic order of season change, occasionally untrimmed means not trimmed, undressed, unornamented, not arranged, misarranged. Nature maintains a beautiful cyclic order of season change. Summer, monsoon, autumn, winter, springtime. Summer, monsoon, autumn, winter, springtime, again summer. This cyclic order of season change. But occasionally, sometimes we get a change of situation. Sometimes the monsoon or rainy season does not get so much water, so much rainwater. It occasionally happens that in some year, rainy season or monsoon season does not get any touch of rainwater. So the proper sequence of cyclic order is getting changed here. Directly nature mother is shifting, is jumping from summer to autumn. Suppose in this autumn, nature mother has not got so much beautiful touch of autumn's warmth. We have not got the mildness, the calmness of autumn. When autumn has come, when autumn has appeared and when it has passed away, we have not realized. So directly nature mother had jumped from monsoon to winter. In some year, we fail to realize the beautiful presence of springtime. When spring comes and when it goes away, we cannot realize because of absence of warmth, sweetness. You think it is springtime, but in this year you think nature has not got so many beautiful, lovable objects in nature. Beautiful flowers we have not got, beautiful trees we have not got, the sweet voice of the cuckoo we have not got sufficiently. So nature's changing course is undreamed. Suppose in one monsoon, we have not got so much rainwater. As we have not got so much rainwater, the monsoon flowers, the monsoon fruits have not bloomed so beautifully. The peacock has not danced so beautifully because of absence of sufficient rainwater. So the beauty of monsoon is decreased. So the poet is telling, nature mother has also negative point or weak point. Nature mother is also occasionally failure to keep up her full bloomed beauty. With the passage of time, nature mother loses her beauty. And accidentally, occasionally, misfortunately, nature is also undressed, untrimmed, means unornamented. In many seasons, nature does not get full bloomed energy, full bloomed spirit, flowers and fruits, colors and fragrance. So it is one weak point or negative point of nature mother. Nature is beautiful. Every lovable object on this earth is beautiful. A lovely young mortal figure, a lovely young mortal body is also beautiful. But sometimes accidentally or misfortunately or unfortunately or suddenly it gets stopped. You know, so many beautiful, lovely, youthful young bodies are finished on the mid journey of the life. Some persons die accidentally. Some persons die for the cause of suicide. So those beautiful young bodies do not get the scope to reach on the last stage of life. Clear? So this is accidentally or unfortunately. Accidentally or unfortunately, every lovable object or every mortal figure on this earth gets finished untimely or with a premature time. And again, as for the nature's law, as for the law of nature, with the passage of time, with the progress of time, every lovable object, every beautiful object gets finished. But on the other hand, the poet is claiming the youthful loveliness of my friend is everlasting. It will never be faded away. It will never be colorless. It is always evergreen because it has been carved, inscribed in the eternal lines of poetry. Up to the existence of human civilization, this Sonnet 18 will be existing on this earth. People will read this Sonnet 18 and they will recall, they will remember about the beauty of the poet's friend. So, through the lines of poetry, through the lines of Sonnet 18, the beautiful, youthful friend of the poet is evergreen, everlasting. So the poet is claiming his friend to be more beautiful, to be more lovely, to be more attractive, more charming than the beauty of summer. Clear? Today up to here. Next day, in my next class, the third question will be explained. Thank you very much.